So last time on, yeah, fuck it, D&D. Dawn of the Fifth Day? Shit happened. Things were done.
Me and Jared did a perception test.
For the
and
Thieves
did a
Guild
monstrous amount of rolls.
Yeah, I mean, I probably could have handled that maybe a bit better, but you know, 56 rolls, why not? Noah/Tarus did a geography test at the Druids Guild, ended up winning that, as well as winning 2 light horses, which he will need to go back to deal with at some point. Unaan and Kaz was heading to the spellcraft area for the spellcraft test, and essentially we are going to be picking up with them doing their thing. As a reminder, the description of the area is in the main square. The same arena for the previous magic and melee competitions is still there. In the center are 2 empty wooden tables, and at one end is a mysterious-looking stone statue with the image of an old human wizard. When Unaan and Kaz arrived, along with technically Athos, I guess, they weren't done setting up and had about 2 hours, did I say?
Give or take. Enough time to go walk around and check out some stores.
Right. And they also ran into some people coming out of the Guild of the Sun Soul Wizards, and eventually they saw them kind of doing some magic to set up the arena properly. So, with the arena complete, after a bit of time has passed, Nan and Kala should be aware of this after they visited some shops and whatnot.
Brilliant.
Has other contestants begun to fill into the area?
Yes, it is apparent that some of them have been waiting for a couple hours, in fact.
Well, much like all of them then, I assume Kaz walks with Unaan, but heading up to the sign-up booth. Once there, sign up our names, and then go wait at the contestant area, wherever everyone's getting pushed to.
Yep. Definitely sign our names up.
Other than that, pretty much just gonna wait for it to start, since much like different people and the different other individuals, we had been waiting for a while to have the thing begin. So, what's waiting a little longer?
So, Unaan, what do you think this test is going to be like?
Taking a look around, Kelb, as he asks that, is there... What is around? Since this is a spellcrafting test, is this testing our knowledge on magic, I guess? Do we see a bunch of, like, magical items or so forth?
I think this is a spell combat test, isn't it?
This is spellcraft.
Oh.
Well, some of those answers or questions will be answered in a few moments when the announcer picks up.
Unaan's
You
looking
mean my
around,
crush?
looks at Kaz and goes, I'm not quite sure. I can't see too well, but they always tell us what we're doing before anyway. Let's just wait and find out, Kaz.
Roger that. I don't know why I said Roger that. That's not in Roger.
Alright, well, you guys chat a bit, and then you guys hear a older gentleman announce to everyone. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Central Portal Square for another exciting event going on today. We'll be dealing with the technicalities of spellcraft, the art form and manipulations that have to be done by those fortunate to have learned the art of casting either through time or through internal magic. This competition, led by the Sun Soul Wizards Guild, is all about those manipulations, and the winner will be picked based on how they handle their spellcraft. And as in other contests, before this one, make sure to sign up at the table if you haven't done so already, if you're interested in competing in this contest, for a chance to win 40 gold and a very fancy looking magic ring.
Oh, it's not a fancy wizard hat.
No.
Damn.
It's not Caleb's monkey wizard hat from Starbound.
Did you make a reference to Starbound that we haven't played in years?
God, has it really been that long?
I don't know how long it's been, but it's fucking been a long time. It's been long enough that Steam will not even tell me the last time I played Starbound, and I still have it installed.
Sounds like a personal problem? Question mark?
I can tell you when I got the game. 1/18/2014.
Listen, I am fucking migraine free, but I had a migraine for 2 days. I'm a little fucked up mentally. Like, it's been literally just...
Yeah, congratulations,
pounding
Dave. It's not D&D related. I don't care anymore. Any actual comments about what he said, by the way? Or where he is, or where the sound came from, etc.?
Was there not a guy in front of us?
Not that you can see, no.
It's another one of Tate's people.
Going based on a roll of 18, could I discern that it is being done via magical means?
18 on what?
Spellcraft. To discern if we're hearing a disembodied voice via magic.
Yes. And yes.
Funnily enough. Because it sounds like an old man voice, Unaan's gonna look at the statue, and again, based on another roll of 18, spellcraft, can he figure out it's probably the statue?
Yes.
Okay. For game, Unaan takes a minute, then realizing the voice is coming from nowhere. Then he just kind of gets this long look, looks directly at the statue, and then once the announcer gets done saying what he says, he looks at Kaz and goes, "The statue just talked to us."
Kaz looks at Unaan. Oh, that's not that surprising. That happens all the time in my hometown. They use it for, like, advertisements and such.
Huh.
What sound was that?
That's the fucking demon cat, apparently, that somebody has.
Came from Marcus.
That was my phone.
Ah.
Not like noise coming out of the phone. That was the rubber on the phone as it it started to slide along glass, and it made that noise.
That was his phone's built-less attachment.
That makes a lot more sense, but yeah, that sounded fucking weird. Continue.
Also, Cal, yes, I just made lore up for my home city for the Astomoi.
Yeah, we'll see how that pans out.
I get the feeling that if our characters ever did travel to the Astomoi city, we're gonna find out that Kaz just makes up 80% of what he says about his hometown. He's that kid that keeps trying to make himself sound cool, being like, "Yeah, well, my dad."
I mean, to be fair, Marcus, this is intended to be open world. You guys can go wherever the fuck you want. You guys could just leave this town if you wanted. Granted, I don't have any other map set up and would have to call a session at the point, but...
I understand, I'm just saying. Like, my headcanon is just that Kaz is that person that's trying to sound cool.
Listen. Unless you visit his home city and see how amazing of a place it is, you won't know.
I'm aware, and I said that's my headcanon, not Unaan's headcanon.
I thought Unaan was you, but nice.
No.
Alright. Seems you passed the first test then, Unaan.
Anyway, that's all I had for that. Figuring out, that's what's going on. Beyond that, though, no, just waiting to see what we do or what happens next.
Well, a little bit of time passes, and you can see some contestants going up to the table, having originally not known or not been here for the previous tests, signing up for the contest themselves. After a brief bit, another disembodied voice coming from the statue can be heard. It appears that everyone has finished signing up, so if you please take a form of a line at the gate, we shall begin. Also, I wish to mention that while this test is spellcraft related, there is also going to be an RP element to it, in terms of like determining the victor. So keep that in mind.
Kaz is gonna follow after Unaan. After you, I do believe a gentleman such as your caliber can easily sway this competition. I saw how you did in the others that I was there for.
So when you say an RP element, what exactly is this?
You were describing and demonstrating the casting of magic in spellcraft itself.
Gotcha, so we're describing what we're doing and then casting the spell.
Or describing as you're casting, because that would be more impressive. To be able to concentrate on actually casting the spell while also being able to give a lecture, essentially.
Gotcha.
Haha, Kaz's forte. He's already done this. Gab, can I submit my other performance in this? I'm kidding, of course.
Well, everyone takes a line, apparently Unaan in front of Kaz, and people start entering.
This behind me.
And people start entering the field, casting roughly 3 to 5 different spells, some doing few, some doing more than that. Each describing their own spell. One of them in particular is casting a fireball spell that they launch into the sky. And if you're wondering, no, it does not come back down.
What kind of descriptions are being given?
Well, some people are opting for no description at all. Just slowly demonstrating the actual casting itself, making it look a little bit more fancier than maybe it actually would be in the fields of battle. Whereas some are actually going into very in-depth, I'm gonna call it scientific knowledge, but not exactly, because magic and science don't really mix 100%, in my opinion anyway.
Fair.
So yeah, you know, like you're describing the arcane energies going to like someone's fingertip or something, stuff like that, only in more technical details, and some are just leaving it to visual. But after they all go, up next would be Unaan.
Okay, in that case, Unaan.
Oh, and to let you know, Athos would be permitted for this test.
I was actually just about to ask that. Prior to this at the desk, just a quick yes or no. So then desummoning Athos then is able to be used?
Yes.
Is racial abilities like Daylight able to be used?
Is it a supernatural ability?
It would be a SP. I think that's supernatural.
No, supernatural should be SU.
So then a spell-like?
Spell-like would be permitted.
And then are spells cast through magical items permitted? So like comprehend language through a ring or fireball through a scroll?
Yes, as long as you're the one that actually created the item itself.
Gotcha, okay. It makes that a strong no for my my thing. Sort through my spells real quick, just so I can make it much more fluent.
Well, while Marcus is that, Lamb, you wanted to buy a Switchblade? I asked you a question on Steam and you have yet to respond.
Oh, it didn't pop up for me. No particular style. He's just looking for something to get the fucking job done.
So, a generic Switchblade.
Pretty much. Yeah, it's just in case, like, we end up somewhere and I need to start cutting shit up.
Fair enough. Well, did you want to actually try to find a shop during the perception test? Or, like, immediately
No,
after?
I'll be doing it after, while I'm between this and the climbing competition.
Okay, well, you would be able to find a weapon shop somewhere that would have one. The cost on that is 5 gold.
Alright.
It is technically classified as a dagger, by the way, and can be used as a proper weapon.
Yep. So it's like a, what, a 1d3 or something?
For medium creatures, it is a 1d4. There's also a 19 to 20 crit range, and a 10-foot range, apparently.
What?
I don't know why, but yeah.
That's strange.
It's on the fucking weapons equipment page. What can I tell you?
Okay. One last question. Are props allowed to be used just for the purpose of being able to show off a spell?
Well, then one last answer, and yes.
Fantastic. Okay, then I'm ready.
Then go ahead unless Lamb had any other comments about the Switchblade.
I mean, other than trying to figure out why it's a 10-foot range.
That would have to be asked of whoever wrote the Adventurer's Armory addition to Pathfinder.
It could be 10-foot range due to thrown.
It's not a throwing weapon. It's a light melee martial weapon.
Yeah, and usually if they have a thrown thing, they actually mark the range. Like, oh wait, no, it might be different than this, but yeah, I doubt that.
So it says it has reach that it lets you extend out. Because when he said 10-foot range, so that sounds like that's how far you can throw it should you desire to throw it.
Yeah, no, that was 10-foot range, like for throwing range. Did you take that as reach?
Yeah, at first that's what I thought you guys were talking about. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? A switchblade with reach? Jesus. Fucking Masamune switchblade.
I don't plan to use it in combat, so it doesn't really matter, but...
I'm just thinking of Sephiroth, except his sword is turned into a switchblade. Anyway, so yeah, Unaan walks out then. Is there like a panel of judges?
As far as you can tell, no. It seems to only be the 2 empty tables and the mysterious-looking stone statue of a older-looking wizard. Human wizard.
Gotcha. Okay. Well then, walking out, looking around at the crowd, having Aethys walk out with them, and he puts down a little glass jar as well on the ground and goes, all right, well, my name is Unaan. I am a summoner. This means that I, as you can assume, summon. Now, I can... Aethys just disappears. Desummon. And I've shown this off before, so I'll just do a little quicker rendition of it. And he takes out his summoning staff, slaps it on the ground and lets it float up into the air, takes out a sickle, slices next to it, and then it's as if you're looking at a door from the side as she walks out of it. And I can summon her back. Granted, the summoning isn't quite summoning her, but more an avatar of her. So if she were to die in this plane, I can just bring her back. No harm, no foul. She didn't technically die. But that's just that part of it. Along with being a summoner, we focus a lot on schools like conjuration. Granted, I myself have also dabbled in transmutation and abjuration, but you could, Aethys, if you would, she walks in front of him, conjure from the element of acid, and he uses acid splash on her and damages her, and shoot out acid from the plane itself. Now, some people might be foolish enough to think you can bottle up that acid and resell it, but the magical acid doesn't work that way, as it kind of dissipates and disappears. As you can see, it ceases to be in our reality after it has done its job, even if you were to use a higher level, such as corrosive touch, and he uses corrosive touch on her, damaging her for a bit more. Now, magic isn't all about injuring. You can also heal. And he opens up his hand. She reaches her hand out, puts it on his hand, and there's this warm glow that emanates from there. And he uses Lesser Rejuvenate, summon Eidolon. Lesser Rejuvenate on her, and he looks and goes, as you can see, you can also use it to heal. Now, personally, as a summoner, my main focus is healing her, but other people focus as well on healing each other. He walks over to the empty jar and opens it. Now, you can technically create temporarily or possibly permanent, if you have the ability, materials as well. such as water, and uses create water and makes a huge mess around the area, but fills up the glass and then picks it up. As you can see, water. Now, this is good enough to drink, but if you don't use it after so much time, it will eventually disappear. Unless you use permanency. I am not going to show permanency because I have not figured it out. But an ability I can show you would be, and he uses Mage Hand and he lifts it up in the air and just drops it. You could lift things without actually lifting them. Now, some of you might be going, wow, he broke a bottle just to show us Mage Hand. It's fine. He uses mending and fixes his bottle and puts it down. I can fix it. Little things like that, no problem about getting damaged. Now, two final spells. One final spell would be sometimes you just need to be protected. And as a spellcaster, one of the best spells we can learn is using, from the School of Conjuration, creating force that protects you. And he puts his hand on his chest and kind of does like a thump with his hand towards himself, and suddenly he has mage armor cast upon himself. Now, although I'm not wearing full plate armor, I am protected as if I were wearing armor. This is very helpful for a spellcaster. Now let's say all these abilities, none of them worked out. Well, let's say you were in a dark cave, and honestly, all of those abilities, totally useless if you can't see. That's why there's always one trick, something that's unique to the Aasimar. And that is the ability to just emanate light. And then he casts daylight out of himself, or uses the ability daylight out of himself. And now for a while, I shall glow and wow, I almost fucked up my words there. And I shall illuminate the area around me. That is all. So which rolls do you need for that, Kel?
5 spellcraft checks overall, and was the bit about you almost fucking up your warding also included in the actual speech?
That was not that was not included in it. That was me almost saying I can emulate. I was like, that's not the right word.
Also, I need to know what your bonus is to spellcraft.
My bonus to spellcraft currently is 8.
Okay, Tate, what is your bonus to spellcraft?
Normally it's 7, Kel, but again, me and Tate had that thing that gave us a bonus.
Oh, yeah.
Tate?
Tate, your thing lit up, but there was no sound.
Oh,
Fix it.
my bonus to spellcraft is currently a 5.
That takes into account the magical food from there?
Yes, because I don't have a rank in it.
Alright, so what'd you get on your rolls, Magus?
Yep, sorry. I was doing math wrong, so I had a calculator. I don't know why my brain was having issues. Anyway, the total with the skill added in comes to 26, 21, 23, 20, 21.
Just to confirm, you said 26, 21, 23, 20, and 21?
Yes. When I say I was having issues, I mean my brain went 8 plus 18 equals 24. No, what are you doing? That's wrong. It's 36. And I went, wow, I'm really fucking up. It's 26.
7.
Alright, well, as you finish up and take your leave off the stage, the crowd seems pleased with your demonstration. Next up is Kaz.
Would you... I'm still figuring mine out. If somebody could, if you could have somebody else go. If that's fine.
Not really.
Carnum goes to the store tab.
I mean, we kind of already dealt with that lamp.
I know.
Unless you have other stores you would like to go to.
To give Tate a quick second, I did that within my legal amount of spell slots, Kelb, if you're curious. I know you've said before that the competitions don't matter too much, but I made sure not to use over what I was allowed.
Yeah, that was an effect. But if you use like one extra spell accidentally in your description, if you're trying to like come up with shit off the top of your head, I wouldn't penalize or anything for it.
I gave that key for Brood Awakening to Steve Rat, right?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure that was a thing.
Yeah, you did.
Out of curiosity, Kelb, for you, do you consider conjuring the element, or conjuring the element out of an elemental plane? Like healing coming from the positive energy plane and acid coming from the water plane. I think acid is in the water plane.
No, I think acid is its own plane.
Technically, there is none. The inner planes are fire, water, earth, air, and then there's positive and negative. So force and electricity and I guess earth might be, or acid might be earth, because I'd imagine cold is from the water plane then, and air would have the electricity. I mean, fire's the easiest one. Where the fuck would fire conjure from? Probably the fire plane. Granted, that's also going on the thought of there's only the 4 elemental planes. Since, you know, story overrides can say, fuck that, there's more.
To actually answer your question, I'm going to say both. It will depend on the spell.
As it does bring up a question then, do you just have it where it's the 4 normal energy planes, or elemental planes, or did you have more? Does your universe have more?
For outer character knowledge, yeah, there's more.
Gotcha. I'm just talking inner, not outer planes.
Well, with the way I had set up the planes, the outer planes are actually classified to be part of the inner planes, and the outer planes are actually entirely different.
Gotcha.
They're the outer inner planes, if you will. Is that enough time? Are you ready?
Is 3 spells enough?
I mean, I did say other contestants were doing 3 to 5, but some were doing less and some were doing more, so...
Okay.
It's still going to be 5 spell check or craft rolls, regardless.
Alright, I'm gonna wing the 4th one without, essentially having it prepared.
I mean, my whole thing was wing Tate. None of that was prepared.
Mine's winging it as well, but it's still kind of prepared. Alright. Kaz steps up onto the thing, as he's called. Totally not a time gap there at all whatsoever, you know. So he went up right away. He gives a slight bow. Greetings, everybody. To those who were here before, those who recognize me, my name is Kaz. Hazur Rainham. I am a white necromancer, and I thank you all for coming here to this competition. I will now demonstrate some of the more various spells I've learned from my studies in the mystical and arcane. They might not seem on the basis of white necromancy, but every spellcaster must start from essentially basics. The first thing he's going to do is point his finger to the sky. One of the first spells I had ever learned was associated to the feeling of life, of the lifeless, and that is a classic Ray of Frost spell. After all, the old adage, cold as death, still applies. He focuses kind of a little bit into the air. Thunderous Chill. A small ray of ice firing from his finger in the sky, leaving a slight trail of ice behind it.
Okay, sorry to interrupt you, Tate. But as you saying about cold as death still, You can hear some dwarves in the crowd boo at that.
He continues on. The art I learned was a simple point of the finger and focusing on the cold throughout the body, even the tiniest bit, as well as evoking a simple personal verbal component, mine being the thunderous chill I mentioned avidly before. Afterwards, Kaz's hand clenches into a fist as he aims it forward, kind of more towards up in the air above the crowd. His other hand, however, slowly slides into the materials pouch he kind of has. He clenches onto a piece of paper. I'm not sure of the actual fucking components, so I'm making it up. A piece of paper and some odd powder. He focuses again. Flashing burst. His fist unclenches suddenly, and a bright light is burst from his hand, casting Daze above the audience. This spell is Daze, and though not the first I learned, is often a favorite of mine, being used as a nice distraction, or as a good party favor at times without a focused target. This one takes 3 components, however: spoken, movement, and basic materials. Then he pulls out the piece of paper and powder, which have mostly been used, but some of the remnants still remain. He lets them drift to the wind. As he finishes that, his hand slowly rolls over the sides of his body, hovering slowly as his eyes closed. A slight light blue aura suddenly seems to shine for just a second. Magic's protection. Kaz drops his hand to his side, almost flicking his hands away as the blue aura suddenly dissipates, but with a flash kind of happening beforehand. That one is a known spell among many. In fact, it's a very popular spell among popular arcanists. The Mage Armor. With a touch of my own personalization, of course. It just takes a little focus, verbal and movement as well, for its components. Each of these spells are very basic, but even White Necromancy must run on the basic of spellcrafting and spellcasting. And for my final trick, this one is more for my own personal brand. I learned this as a side note of mine. He pulls out the merchant scale, the +1 he had earned from the competition, and he kind of shows the crowd, the audience. He's like, you can't see it at the moment, but there's nothing on here. Well, you can't see anything yet. I wanted to show you that. But with a little flick of my wrist, as if I'm signing something, he holds the merchant scale kind of towards himself and seems to almost sign a sigil on the bottom of it before, with another pen flick away from it, he holds it facing the audience, showing his arcane mark along the bottom. And if you could read the runes, it essentially just says Khazro. And this one as well takes that verbal as well as movement kind of thing. I prefer to whisper my own personal incantation under my breath. That's a trade secret after all, for that one. But that's all I have to demonstrate, at least for now. As I learn more about White Necromancy, I'm pretty sure my displays will become a lot more interesting. He takes another bow before stepping off the stage. And that's it. Did you catch that? Just kidding.
I caught none of it. You've been quiet this entire time. You're gonna have to start from
That's a lie.
the beginning.
No.
Yeah, we heard your tape. We caught it.
I didn't.
Of course he did. I was actually going to make a comment about them, like, that might do it himself.
Well, that reflects accurately on the Ray of Frost. Alrighty. I did my 5 rolls.
What'd you get?
8, 16, 16, 12, 23. Like I said, it accurately displayed the Ray of Frost.
Uh-huh. Okay. Well, Kaz leaves the stage, unless he wishes to stand there for a few minutes for some fucked up reason.
What was that?
Kaz leaves the stage unless he wants to stand there for a few minutes for some fucked up reason?
No, he left the stage as soon as he was done, after a curtsy.
He starts doing the
Very
jig.
polite.
Well, Kaz leaves the stage then. And some more additional contestants do their spiel. I don't know why you moved the pieces, but okay.
I was just centering him more.
And yes, Cal, my spells are. I know you have probably chat turned off. My spells are Mega Man based
I don't have chat turned
when
off.
it comes to the verbal. Oh, she saw it.
Yeah, I stopped disabling chat because Noah kept saying we're back in it instead of fucking mumble. So, anywho, more contestants go by, demonstrating, some doing, or at least one in particular, doing what appears to be as well as Unaan did.
Is it the summoner that I fought?
Good question. We'll find out afterwards.
You can't see him, even though he's up on stage.
It's I don't know who the fuck to use at the moment and have not decided should I use existing characters that I've created for other events or randomly generate ones. Who knows?
It's a deer man.
No, it's not. And if anything, that'd be a druid. Regardless, other contestants go by and they all finish. And the mysterious stone statue announces, thank you all for participating in the contest. Please give us a moment to confer with each other to see who has won the test overall. Feel free to talk amongst yourselves and whatnot in the meantime. It was both said in-game and as me saying, talk about something while I fucking figure shit out.
Kaz turns to Unaan. So, what did you think of my performance? I thoroughly loved yours. Your art of the summoning evocation is something to actually aspire towards.
Well, thanks, Kaz. And yours was entertaining as well. Out of game.
I like that.
Just real quick, out of game. Are you saying your first roll was a 3?
Yeah,
Ouch.
yeah. That's what I said. It was very appropriate that fucking Calb said some doors boot at the pun.
I mean, to be fair, Ray of Frost is a 1d3 skill.
It was the first one he learned, and he associates it with the touch of death.
Fair enough. Anyway, go ahead and continue whatever you were going to say in character.
Oh, I don't think I was gonna say something in character. I suppose you will now. Did you? I heard some people. I heard some of the somebody in the audience booing at my touch of death. The the icy touch. It's
I heard it. I didn't see who though.
Yeah, I don't mind. It's the first spell I learned, and that's how my essentially mentor had taught me. Also, I love throwing my own personal spin on a lot of the spells that I learn and such. If you didn't notice. the mage armor is just it's beautiful. I love it. It's a sexy mage armor, by the way.
Also, out of game, if you're curious, the material component for mage armor is a piece of leather.
Listen.
A small piece of leather.
Wait, mage armor takes a material?
Yeah. Tate, do you have a material pouch?
It doesn't get consumed,
I do,
though.
and I have a few materials. I've got mage armor listed as verbal, somatic, and focus.
Yeah, it's VSF.
Not material.
Parentheses, a piece of curd leather.
Curd? You mean cured.
Cured.
Curd?
Man.
Curd?
My brain is
okay,
broken.
so it has a material component as well.
I don't know why, because it doesn't say material, but still.
That's what the F is.
That's focus, though.
Yeah, you're focusing
I guess
on
it
the
makes
leather.
sense. Focus on a material, yeah.
Nevertheless, though, if you have a shoe materials, then as long as it costs, I think, less than a gold or something like that, you don't need to worry about it having a material cost. You don't need to use materials for it.
True.
It's for spells like Wish and Mass Greater Healing and shit like that, where it's like, holy fuck.
Takes
use a chunk of
diamonds.
diamond to, like, yeah, then you do. Unless given otherwise.
You know, a chunk of diamond that sells for like 30,000 gold.
But nevertheless, though, there you go. But like, it all depends though. You have your other ways of doing stuff too. Like for Unaan, sometimes it looks like he doesn't because he has things like his armor that he uses for spells, or his staff that he uses for it. Anyway, yeah, Unaan had told you that he didn't know who laughed at you. Or who booed at you. He knows who laughed, it was him. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Wow. I don't think he would in character. I think he would lose his alignment if he did.
No, he would not lose his alignment from laughing at you.
If it was in mean spirits, you know,
That's
evil.
still... that's the same logic as saying Hitler was was chaotic evil. But I mean, he would lose that evil part if he donated to an orphanage once. No.
Hitler would lose his evilness if he had somehow resurrected everyone he had killed.
Right, like, you'd lose your... I would lose my lawful evil, Tate.
Because he killed him anyway. And he's probably just resurrecting him to kill him again.
By the way, Tate, how the fuck do you have +5 ranks in Spellcraft?
I have my intelligence bonus. That's it.
Are you trained in it?
Nope.
Spellcraft cannot be used untrained. You do not gotta get any bonuses from it.
Oh. It's a class skill.
That makes you trained. You just don't have any ranks in it.
Okay, so yeah, I do have it trained then.
Wait. No, if it has a check mark, that means it's a class skill. Which means it's easier to be trained in. You have to have at least one rank to be considered trained.
I personally imply if it's a class skill, you've been trained in it. At least in some shape or form. Whether or not you put any actual ranks in it, which means you furthered your education, is another question.
Okay. Damn, maybe
You at least get your fucking... Which makes sense. Yeah, you at least get your skill bonus.
Yeah, that's how I've always considered class skills, is you're trained in it at least partially. You may not be good at using it, but you're at least trained in it a bit. You took a semester at college.
Or you could throw all your points at diplomacy and end up taking your doctorate's degree in political discourse.
Well, after, out of game conversation has happened, some time in-game has actually passed. And the mysterious stone statue begins speaking. Thank you all for your patience. We have decided that there is actually 2 winners for this contest. Unfortunately, we could not decide one to be better than the other. Those winners are Unaan and another summoner called Fada. Psst, Marcus is the same person.
Okay.
However, due to both of you winning, you will not actually receive the full 40 gold amount because we do not have any extra currently set aside for this contest, so that will be split, but we do have an extra fancy looking magic ring to be able to give out to both of you. So if you both would like to enter the arena to receive your gifts and, you know, the crowd cheering, blah blah blah.
Yep, I go out to receive my stuff. If the person isn't too much of an asshole, Unaan's gonna tell him, "Good job," and shake his hand.
Fauna is a male elf summoner. Yeah, okay.
And so he said it's the same one. I knew it was a male. But anyway.
Aw, I was really trying.
So he, good sportsmanship, like, yeah, good job.
They are not an asshole about it. That said, Tate, you came in 5th. If you really wanted to know.
I was really hoping to win. I was really trying my hardest.
Not with a roll of 3.
Yeah, you were basically gonna have to get pretty close to fucking 20s with how Marcus was rolling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say Kaz got distracted with
the booing.
Unaan summoning. He was like, wait, it's pulling it from planes?
What's a plane?
What the fuck's a plane?
Why do I feel
What's
like
a
I
plane?
should... You just fucking... You see Carnum in the crowd. What is a plane and why do I feel like I should build one?
Okay,
Why do I feel I need to gather some snakes?
Unaan and Fauna went out to the field. You guys did your exchange. Both of you go up to the mysterious stone statue, presumably.
Yep.
And that's when the statue begins moving its arms out, and within both of them, both hands, is a gold and silver garnet ring.